So you may already have your own gong, or you may already be thinking about your next gong. So it's very helpful to consider the types of gongs available to you as you make your purchase. After you have a gong, how do you best take care of the gong to keep it in a very beautiful tune? The gongs that we have up here today are all European made. They're made from a flat sheet of metal, tuned and hammered to create this beautiful sound that they make. The other type of gong that is typically sold or available is what we call the Eastern gong or the Chinese gong, which is composed of a heavier, thicker metal. Different gong players have different preferences, and these gongs have different uses. So there's no one gong that is going to be always superior to the other gong. However, you'll find that some of these gongs will produce the types of sounds you're trying to create in your classes or in your relaxation sessions. The gongs we have up here today are in two basic types. The types that you see with the symbol in the middle, and here, and over here, are called the planetary gongs. They're tuned gongs tuned to a frequency of a planetary orbit. As such, they're going to produce one carrying sound, tone, frequency through the entire playing of that gong. So you may create a lot of different sounds from that gong. There's always some overriding or underriding sustaining tone that is there in frequency that carries through the playing. So they can be very effective for certain healing work, for creating specific effects in the listener, for working on different chakras. They have many, many uses. In some ways, they're a specialty gong. They're like a specialization to create a certain effect. These other gongs that you see without the center glyph, this gong and this one which has just an embossed symbol, and this gong, and the gong over here. These are called symphonic gongs. They're not tuned to a frequency like these planetary gongs are, so they have in some ways a more interesting, not interesting, but a wider range of sounds that's easily created. These are very excellent for meditation work and for work with yoga, as are the planetary gongs. Which one you buy or use depends upon your connection to the sound that it helps you to create. This gong is a little unusual in that it's not really a planetary gong. It's called an earth sound creation gong. The sound creation gongs are not tuned, just like the symphonics, so they're similar in that respect. But they produce a different type of sound that sounds more shimmery and inclusive. They respond very quickly to the strike of the mallet, and they come in different sizes. This is a 38-inch size. There's also a 32-inch size, which is the same size as that gong. There's also a 26-inch size, and there's also a 60-inch size gong. So gongs typically come from size 20 inches, or 50 centimeters, all the way up to 60 inches, or 150 centimeters in diameter. The larger the gong, the larger the sound. However, these smaller gongs, like this moon gong and Venus gong, which are 24 inches, have a very sweet, unique sound to them. So there's a place for using the smaller gongs. The larger gongs, like the Pluto gong, 36 inches, and the 36-inch symphonic gongs are quite amazing. But for many people, for a beginner, they're a challenge to play because there's so much metal to play and to move. The smaller gongs also have another challenge in that they tend to respond and move very quickly, and they tend to move around a lot when you play it. So for beginners, oftentimes it's nice to think of a gong between the size of 28 to 34 inches. The mid-range size gongs tend to be well received by beginning players.